This is Radio TV Phononut, and no, this is not vintage, but if it turns out to work, we can use it on our vintage TVs. This is one of those crappy Funai Emerson branded VCR DVD combinations. These were sold under many names. I picked this out of the garbage down the street, this and an RCA DTV converter box. The person who lived there passed away, and they've been cleaning out his house. And this stuff was all still connected together, so I feel like it probably still works. It's just they didn't want it and they threw it away. I looked for the remotes, but unfortunately couldn't find those anywhere. But if this stuff turns out to be good, I'm sure I can get on eBay and get a remote somewhere. Alright, let's test this out. We have an old tape of the Incredible Hulk that I recorded off of the air probably 30-something years ago whenever I was a kid. So let's see if it'll work and not eat the tape. Okay, let's see where the play button is on this thing. Alright, play. Well, I guess it's not going to work naturally. Typical Funai. Typical darn Funai. Won't work. It just shuts off. Be too much to ask for, well, at least it didn't eat my tape. Alright, let's see if the DVD side works, or can we at least get some use out of this? Hate it when people throw away garbage. It's not fully working. Alright, what's going to happen here? Well, it recognizes it as being a DVD. There's our standard do not copy or we'll throw you in jail for the next 30 years warning. I think we got a bad coax cable here. Okay, where's the play button on this side? It does have one, doesn't it? Alright, play all. Alright, we're not going to leave that up too long because not only do the copyright police not like music, they seem to not like images from TV screens either, so we're just going to test this long enough to see what functions about it. Here's the DVD converter box. If I don't break it first. It's an RCA manufactured November 2014, just has power and channel buttons. Like I said, I have no remote, but if this thing has the local channels already programmed in it, I may not need the remote right now, or at least it'll work good enough for a test. And this runs off of a 9-volt wall wart, which is convenient because I could easily rig this to run off of a DC, a battery supply for emergencies, like when the power goes out. I notice this has a little stand where you can turn it and set it up sideways if you want to, so that's convenient. Alright, here's the converter box. Let's see what happens. Turn it on. Well, it's working. See what channels we got programmed in here.
I don't know. Yeah. Blend. This week, in Collinsville, your home site. what we said.
Well, we have everything programmed in that's local and it's full screen, so we don't really have to worry about getting in a real big hurry to find a remote for this. Okay, playing with the VCR some more. Let's see, put the tape in. When I press fast forward, it ejects the tape. Alright, let's push play one more time and see what happens. And it does that and just shuts off. And when I turn it back on, it kicks the tape out. Now I have the top cover off and I can see that our tape sensor is emitting, so that's good. I think that's a common failure on these, the tape sensor burning out or having bad solder connections on it. That doesn't appear to be the case here. And I will say I've never been much for VCR repair. I can do simple stuff to them, but especially when it comes to these $59.95 or $79.95, whatever they cost, throwaway specials, it's really not worth doing much to them. In fact, I bought one of the last standalone Funai VCRs without the DVD player built in. I don't remember the year, but there was something I wanted to record, needed a VCR in a hurry, so I ran to Walmart and spent $39.95, and within a couple of months it got so that I'd be watching a tape and the machine would just shut off, and then it got so when I'd pull the tape out it would have eaten my tape, so it hit the trash can real quick, and that's pretty much been my experience as far as reliability goes with all of these 21st century Funai VCRs, and don't get me started on the TV VCR combinations. Alright, let's put a tape in and kind of watch it and see if we can figure out maybe what's going on here. Now, I saw it kind of kick in the forward direction a little bit, but when we press the play button, we have no forward movement. We just get a still image on the screen for a couple of seconds, and then it shuts the machine off. Yeah, just to rule out the tape being defective, I think I'll go grab another video cassette and see if that's the trouble before I go diving into this. But any VCR experts out there have any ideas as to what might be wrong with this? If it's something simple, then let me know, and I might try to fix this. You know, it would be nice to have a working VCR DVD combo with RF output so I can connect it to my RF input only TVs without having to use an RF modulator. And I reached in my tape cabinet, and this is what I pulled out. It has some of the 1960s Dragnet episodes on it, In the Heat of the Night, and most importantly, the WTOK TV DTV transition, June 12, 2009. That's the day analog went away for good here. Our other two TV stations flipped to digital prior to that, and they did no fanfare at all except for a little crawler at the bottom of the screen. When the time came, they just turned the transmitter off, and that was it. But WTOK did devote a little bit to it, so let's try this tape and see what happens. Well, good, this tape's never been rewound for some reason, so we can check the rewind function and see how that part works. Okay, where's the rewind button on this thing? Right here next to the power button. Is it going to rewind or is it going to eject? Let's see. Well, it says rewind. Okay, let's just stop here and press play and see what happens. The same thing that was happening before. We're getting a still image, no forward rotation, and shutdown. So obviously it's not the tape, it's something with the machine. And when I press fast forward, see what happens. Okay, fast forward is working, but when I put it in play, then we get no forward movement. Alright, play. Yeah, the same thing. So that's kind of weird. When I put it in fast forward, it fast forwards the tape, but whenever I press play, it just sits there and won't move. Okay, I made a post on one of the Facebook groups about VCRs, about what this one was doing, and someone suggested making sure the capstan is rotating. Well, the capstan is rotating, but I found a problem. When I engage this in play, our pinch roller should move up and make contact with the tape here, just like it does in a regular tape recorder, but that's not happening, and I'll demonstrate that now. Okay, so let's turn it on. Alright, I'll press play, and what it should do is the capstan should move up, or excuse me, the pinch roller should move up and make contact with the tape, but that's not happening. So I'm wondering if there's some piece of debris or something down in there preventing the pinch roller from moving up. I really don't even know if this is worth me even tearing apart to even try to find out what's wrong with it. Alright, this lever was sticking, and now I can by hand move the pinch roller up next to the capstan, but I don't know if that's going to do us any good or not. And nope, but there's still something wrong with this besides the pinch roller, because even whenever I physically move it up next to the capstan, our tape is not moving. So I think I'm not even going to worry about this. It was a piece of junk when it was new. It's a piece of junk now. We'll just look at it from the standpoint it came out of the garbage, and it didn't cost me anything. So it is what it is. I can use it for a DVD player. Most of my VHS tapes are family stuff that was made on a camcorder, or stuff that I recorded off of the TV, old TV shows. And as far as the TV shows go, I'm trying to replace a lot of those with store-bought DVDs that are of better quality anyway than old grainy VHS tapes that I recorded off of the air in SLP mode, so I could get 6 or 7 or 8 episodes on a single tape. I don't think I've ever seen one of these where both sides worked. Usually either the VCR will work and the DVD will be dead, or like in this case, the DVD will work but the VCR will be dead. And like I've already said before, these things are so cheap. I think they cost like, what, $79 when they were new. Some of them were less than that. So when something's cheap, that means they're made cheaper. In the case of these, you got a lot of cheap, flimsy metal parts and plastic parts that like to break and just overall low quality. They're not like the old boat anchor VCRs that are designed to be fixed. So, but, you know, it is what it is. It didn't cost me anything, and I've got a DVD player out of the deal, at least for now. Anyway, that could change the next disc I put in it, but if it craps out, then I'll cut the power cord off and I'll put it back in the garbage.